Welcome to Project Management for a Connected World, where we will be sharing new perspectives on how project leaders can help drive collaboration, innovation, and project success across their businesses. Over the next 2 hours, we're going to discuss the levels of connection within and across our organizations and how Microsoft's project management solutions can help teams stay on top of their work, align around common goals, elevate project performance, and grow their business. I'm Alicia Pulliam, Executive Communications Manager in Microsoft Business Applications, and I am so excited to be here with you today. We're going to kick off with a keynote. From there, you can customize your day with us by joining any of our 11 breakout sessions and 9 partner-led roundtable discussions. Product experts are standing by to answer questions. You will have time between each of our sessions to take a quick break before continuing. When you're ready to jump back in, simply return to the breakout sessions page on the event portal to join us in the next session. Now, we're all in for a treat. I'm going to hand the stage over to Emily Huh, Corporate Vice President of Business Applications Marketing, for our keynote on Project Management for a Connected World. Emily, take it away.
Hi, Alicia. It's so great to be here. I'm looking forward to the day's lineup, especially sharing perspectives on how we can all create a more connected project experience. Covering 106 acres and weighing an estimated 13 million pounds, the Pendle aspen clone in south central Utah is considered to be the largest single organism in the world. Standing in this forest, you can see clusters of these beautiful trees standing tall. And what you don't see is the vast network of underground roots connecting more than 47,000 trees, sharing water, nutrients, information, and life across this expansive forest. Like these aspens, our world today is an incredibly complex network of connections. If we think about what it takes to sell even the simplest product, like a pen or a shirt, there are businesses extracting and producing raw materials that get sent to manufacturers who work with product designers to create products. These products then get distributed through complex networks to sellers who market and operationalize the sales processes. And across each step of this process, there are projects of all shapes and sizes. There are teams conducting R&D, there are designers who create packaging, there are marketing teams building e-commerce stores, there are HR managers recruiting and developing teams, there are account receivable teams that manage billing, and there are leaders providing direction and driving growth. Within and across each one of the businesses and teams, there are processes, systems, and projects in constant motion. Each business is indeed a living and breathing organism. The next time you buy a product, pause for a second and think about what it took to get that product in your hands. It is truly amazing. As business and project leaders, it's imperative for us to be able to see the forest through the trees. Maybe you're managing a well-defined HR or research initiative, executing a marketing plan that's constantly adapting to real-time feedback, or coordinating efforts across an entire global supply chain. Whatever you're doing, your ability to understand and add structure to these complex networks is critical. So today, we're going to explore our ever-connected world, how it is changing the way we work, and how business and project leaders can collaborate, innovate, and deliver with Microsoft to overcome project challenges and drive new levels of business success. Our world is connected like never before. Even when the pandemic struck in early 2020 and many became physically distanced almost overnight, technology kept us connected in ways that wouldn't have been feasible even just a decade ago. And over the last 2 years, we have adapted to new ways of working with incredible resilience. As we look forward, the way we work will continue to evolve with a new era of hybrid work, global collaboration, and operational agility. While this shift isn't completely novel, the pandemic has accelerated our path towards a new way of work, with increased focus on improved project performance. On the journey to creating a more connected project experience, project directors and managers as well as operations officers and people managers, are facing a lot of limitations. Let's picture these scenarios. A project manager has just successfully wrapped up a large multi-team engagement and is tasked with submitting project actuals or hours to the accounting team for invoicing. With a point solution that only helps with planning, they have to manually log, calculate, and submit hours through a process that's prone to error. After a lot of back and forth with the accountant, discrepancies are uncovered, which leads to huge loss in productivity. This is a typical problem. Several point solutions solve one problem, in this case, planning, but fail to address company-wide needs like invoicing. Let's now think about the project manager who prefers to plan a project using the traditional waterfall methodology, but has team members who operate in a more organic and agile way. They may use task boards to share project status and feedback. Even though most products on the market today offer flexibility to apply different methodologies, it's still really difficult for teams to scale. As a result, this project manager would struggle to engage their team. Post-2020, many organizations have embraced hybrid work. But the question is, how do organizations maintain a seamless workflow when most solutions lack the native integration needed to provide a connected experience? Instead, projects get stalled by siloed business groups and disconnected point solutions, which require third-party integrations to bring project management into the flow of work. At Microsoft, we're taking on a different approach and building a connected project experience that facilitates collaboration and accelerates innovation. We think of a truly connected project experience in 4 layers of connection. The first layer of connection is people. Frictionless and connected communication is truly the foundation of collaboration, and without it, it's difficult to keep teams aligned. Priorities can become unclear, and goals become more difficult to achieve. As a result, team performance and morale can suffer. With Microsoft Teams, we bring your people and application in a single, connected experience where they can see everyone involved in a project, have conversations with teammates, and share project updates in real time. This allows teams to more effectively communicate and collaborate, drive alignment across the organization, and improve productivity. The second layer of connection involves your environment. This is your data layer. When environments aren't connected, data lives in silos, in disparate systems, and decisions are made with incomplete or inconsistent information. Through the Microsoft Cloud Platform, we're able to unify project data like plans, documentation, risks and issues, insights, status, estimates, and invoices from across your organization, helping deliver solutions that rely on a single source of truth. The third layer of connection involves your work. Research shows that in 2021, the average organization had 110 SaaS applications deployed across their company, up from 80 in year 2020. For teams to efficiently manage their work, they don't just need more apps. They need solutions that keep them in the flow of work longer to foster greater flexibility, alignment, and focus. Our portfolio of project management tools, including Planner, Project, and Project Operations, provide business with flexible and connected tools that empower them to work the way they want. Whether small projects or large operations, we help teams stay on top of their work, align teams to common objectives, and elevate project impact. Our fourth layer of connection is built around connected experience. As work shifts to hybrid models in a more global environment, many companies are struggling to deliver consistent experiences for distributed teams across different environments. Our solutions at Microsoft work together to deliver a familiar and intuitive user experience for all users. This means that if a user is familiar with Office 365 products, they will feel at home when they are using other Microsoft applications. The result is a shorter learning curve, faster adoption, and higher utilization. At Microsoft, our solutions reinforce and augment these four natural connection layers: people, environment, work, and experience, to deliver a unique approach to project work. And it all starts with helping teams cut through the complexity of modern work so they can focus on what matters the most: impact. Our solutions help organize work and provide users with greater visibility into their projects so they can better understand their tasks and operations at both a macro and micro level. Increased organization and visibility not only help reduce complexity, they also provide foresight into issues and opportunities so they can be addressed strategically and proactively. Our solutions help project managers take the lead, facilitate teamwork, drive results, and coordinate the project management process on a seamless and unified platform. First, these solutions have the flexibility to map to your business processes. So instead of forcing your teams to work the way your tools demand, our solutions are extensible and composable, so you can define the way you work and work the way you want. Second, by focusing on a connected experience, we help enhance teamwork. As complexity increases, many organizations struggle to keep teams aligned around common objectives. Teams may be working on different deliverables, duplicating work, or working on conflicting projects. By centralizing and improving communications and collaboration across teams, our solution helps you drive alignment. This increases organization and visibility, both within and across groups. This allows leaders to keep different teams and business units working towards a common objective. It also lets project leads optimize resources to ensure the right people are solving the right problems and teams have the capacity to meet customer demand. Third, connected solutions drive better project results. By giving teams clear expectations on deliverables, cost, and timelines, team productivity and performance will improve. Teams will deliver better service to customers and complete projects on time and on budget, which will enhance customer experience. And by providing clearer expectations, better managing workloads, and driving team success, employees will be happier and more engaged. Finally, as businesses seek to improve their project experiences, they need to think beyond their short-term needs and instead focus on how their systems are going to help them adapt, innovate, and grow in the future. They also want solutions that are secure, easy to manage, connect with their existing tools, and flexible to fit the needs of their business. Through the Microsoft Cloud Platform, business and project leaders can finally see the forest through the trees. Companies can deliver a unified, connected experience across their complex and often highly matrix organizations with real-time insights from company-wide data. With tools like Power Apps, Power Automate, and Power BI, you can further extend your solutions and drive a culture of innovation across your business. And of course, all of this is built on the world's most trusted cloud, so you can collaborate with confidence. To bring this all to life, I'm going to send it back to Alicia, who's standing by with two of our customers, Velux and GN Group, to talk about their experience working with Microsoft Project and project operations. Alicia, back to you.
Thank you, Emily. I'm excited to introduce Anders, the head of process and operations, and Martin, senior solution architect in product development at Velux. Welcome, Anders and Martin.
Thank you for having us.
Before we jump in, I was hoping you could share a bit about Velux and your role with the company.
Sure. At Velux, we're committed to making innovative and sustainable solutions to create better indoor environment for our customers using daylight and fresh air through the roof. We do this through our well-known Velux roof windows and an increasing range of smart, digitally enabled products. We're based in Denmark, and we currently have around 11,500 employees globally. I was hired some 5 years ago as the head of process and operations within our product development to help clear up and get our processes and our systems landscape more aligned to efficiently support all our product development activities. So to do so, I have a great team of portfolio and process specialists, and also solution architects like Martin here joining me today to do that.
Very nice. So a few years ago, Velux was having some challenges. What was going on at the company?
Well, after some years of getting our arms around the overall product development in Velux, it was quite clear to us that we actually had a couple of challenges that we were dealing with. So to start, at Velux, our product development function has, for good reasons, historically been divided into functional business areas. Different functions had developed into different ways of working on projects, so there were very little coordination across the global portfolio. Second, the organization was utilizing an old system that had served the company really well for quite a few years, but we had basically just outgrown it, and that created some problems. So it was slow, it was difficult to use, and quite challenging to work with. And then often also failed to connect to the different parts of our portfolio. So the way we managed our projects was no longer working for us. So we needed a change.
Interesting. So once you identified the need for a change, what were the things that you were looking for in a solution?
Well, I'll say while there were many individual criteria, overall there were 4 criteria for us as we began exploring solutions. To start, we knew that we had grown to be too polarized as an organization, both across the portfolio and across our locations. Data in one part of our system didn't always match that in the others, and it was a real problem. So we needed a solution that could unify our projects and not only give us project management capabilities, but also portfolio management capabilities. Second, usability was an increasing pain point for us as we were growing and onboarding new colleagues. Especially our new and younger colleagues, they didn't see the system as very intuitive. It took significant training for us, which made onboarding a challenge. So as we were getting more and more complaints from our team members regarding the system performance and the response time, so in finding a new solution, usability was really essential. We needed it to be easy and intuitive to use. It had to be fast, and it needed to also have the flexibility to handle the different types of projects that we manage across our global portfolio. Third, I'll also say that our previous solution was very difficult to adapt to the increasing speed of the world of changes in product development, meaning that we spent too much time dealing with data silos, as well as just basic system maintenance. So when we needed to add capabilities, it was often quite costly and very time consuming, which led to even more training and more frustration among our team members. So having a solution that we could easily add to and build on ourselves, especially as we scale and grow bigger, that was also very important for us. Lastly, while this would be driven by operation, it was important that we aligned with our IT strategy, allowing us to get the most out of our existing applications landscape rather than just adding more complexity.
That's fascinating how you've broken down your strategy. I'm sure many of our customers can relate to hearing these challenges and needs for better integration and connection across their companies, better usability, performance and flexibility, and of course, easier customization and scale. So you evaluated some different solutions and ultimately you chose Microsoft. Specifically, you implemented Project for the Web. So Martin, can you share a bit about why you selected Microsoft and what your solution looks like today?
Sure. Well, Microsoft and Project for the Web met all of our requirements really well. And let me start by saying that it was actually one of the easiest implementations we ever done. And we implemented quite a few solutions by now. We started development in August and trained our colleagues in October. And by December, we had trained more than 200 colleagues and migrated more than 1,000 projects. So I think that's quite an achievement here. So with Project and the out-of-the-box features from Microsoft Power Platform, we finally have our entire portfolio on a single system. And this was possible because Project has the flexibility to handle a lot of different types of projects. By unifying our operations, it is not only a project management tool, but also a portfolio management tool. And for the first time, leadership is able to see what is happening across different projects, product groups, locations, and make strategic decisions about what to prioritize and where to invest. And having this portfolio level view of projects has helped us being more strategic. And another awesome benefit by using Microsoft is that our teams are more connected than ever before. Project integrates directly with Microsoft Teams, which improves our collaborations. Microsoft also links all of our solutions together and brings everything under one umbrella. And it does this out of the box, so we don't even have to write any custom script to make this happen. And because so many team members are familiar with Microsoft products, the migration to Project for the Web has been simple and intuitive. And furthermore, the system is highly responsive and performs very, very well. We have leveraged the Power Platform to easily adapt the solution to the business needs. Because of Project for the Web, our company has matured a lot, and as we evolve, we are unlocking new opportunities to grow and evolve. The ability to customize both with model-driven apps as well as the Canvas apps is increasingly important. This is supported by the feedback we get from our colleagues saying that we are at the forefront of the user-friendliness in terms of technology.
User-friendly is always a plus. Can you give us an example?
We created a simple Canvas app that gives our team members the ability to make a product suggestion and include pictures, all from the mobile phone. It was important that it was a mobile app because a lot of our team members at the production sites don't necessarily have the laptop today. We get tips like moving the placement of a pre-drilled hole to make installs easier. It's amazing that we now are able to capture all the feedback in Project, and leadership can now review and prioritize, and we can quickly turn these into actual insights. This feedback makes our products even better, and great ideas can come from anywhere. This app has democratized feedback by allowing us to truly listen to feedback from our entire team, and this wouldn't have been possible without the Project for the Web management solution based on Project for the Web. Our decision to choose Microsoft fits soundly with our IT strategy to increase our Microsoft 365 utilization. It's all about utilizing what we have rather than expanding with new elements. And the ease of implementation and customization has taken some of the burdens off of our support team, which is also quite valuable.
I love hearing how successful this has been for you. So Anders, what's next for Velux?
Well, my team and I, we're doing our best to expand our project portfolio management solution and Microsoft Project into other parts of the business. Other teams across our supply and our commercial areas are basically knocking down our doors to be a part of the success we have achieved here. So just to get access, so we're working towards making that happen.
Well, thank you, Anders and Martin, for sharing your story. It sounds like Velux is making some exciting changes, and we're excited to see what you do next.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
And now I would like to bring another great story on how project-centric organizations are coping with the challenges of managing their projects end-to-end with Dynamics 365 project operations. For this, let me introduce you to Carl, Improvement Project Manager of the GN Group. Hi, Carl. Welcome.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Can you tell us more about the GN Group and your role?
Sure. GN makes life sound and look better through intelligent hearing, audio, video, and also gaming solutions. The group itself owns several well-recognized brands. Maybe you know Jabra, Beltone, Blue Parrot, now also SteelSeries, among some others. I myself sit in the R&D department of GN Audio, where we make great products like this one and own the Jabra brand, so to say.
I certainly can attest to Jabra headsets and devices. They are great products. Now, Carl, can you tell us about what business challenges triggered the adoption of Dynamics 365 project operations at GN Audio?
Sure, it's really about scaling complexity for us. We've come a long way. Our company is like 150 years old, and we've always been on the forefront of innovation and technology. So in the last years, not only due to Corona, where everyone needed a headset, we have been growing significantly. And we have won several awards for our great solutions and even recognizing the growth itself. All of this is largely driven, of course, out of R&D. And that in turn puts again new demands and pressures on R&D. Now we have a much larger workforce. We have more projects. We have new exciting business opportunities that we want to follow. And we have larger projects to manage and budgets. On top of that, you have in all of these dimensions, you have an increased complexity, right? But we're also a global company. So we also have a drive, of course, to work according to unified processes.
It's interesting that you mentioned that for Jabra. The adoption of project operations was about managing the complexity of your processes in a unified way. Can you tell us more about the issues you had before?
You see, the former system was simply no longer geared for this evolving set of challenges. And this means we started to see that it was getting a bit slow or outdated. And when users start to see that and they're maybe a bit savvy, then they come up with their own ways of trying to improve their work. And that can compromise your work streams. Also, portfolio management itself was much more handheld before, and that was also totally fine. But now with this increased complexity that I just outlined, we can really rely on this anymore, right? So out of this, we kind of have this new need that we want to supercharge R&D with a modern, future-proof portfolio management system that provides a single central hub for the processes, for the data, and for the interactions. And interactions both for people, but also on the IT side, that it's interactions to other important IT systems.
Nice. So you decided to give your R&D a modern, future-proof project management solution. What were some of the key decision factors to adopt project operations?
We were looking into an array of different solutions, right? But we were pretty quickly zooming in onto Microsoft. And that one combined with OnePlan, which is a Microsoft partner solution. Project operations then makes a lot of sense for us for a couple of reasons. One of them is that we are also in a major transformation towards D365 F&O, which plays a role here. But it's also that we rely heavily on this kind of hub functionality that PO provides. And this way, project operations allows us actually to compose a solution that really meets our needs. So this solution that we're designing here will enable us to increase the data quality and the support for driving really data-driven decisions. And that on a portfolio level. It will provide a single source of truth and is simply expected to reduce errors in our existing processes. So in order to meet these growing demands from R&D, we need to be on the forefront of our tools as well. So we work here with Microsoft to really future-proof the way we work and kind of get us there by taking project operations as an exciting step in that direction. This is part of a larger change for us. So we are really thinking of this on quite a big scale, as I mentioned before, because we're also changing to D365 FO.
Now, Carl, moments before, you described your implementation of project operations as single central hub for all project management. Can you describe how you're making the connections across your processes and data?
Of course, Microsoft D365 project operations is at the heart of our solution. But overall, we're building a solution that also covers other exciting elements. We have Power BI, we have Power Apps, and we have Power Automate. And we use them specifically where we need them. For example, for reporting, of course, but maybe also in our integrations or in our automations. Last but not least, we're developing parts of the solution using OnePlan, which will provide specific features, so to say, that we will encapsulate in our overall solution. But PO is actually what provides the central hub and also the central user experience in this whole solution. Already today, the solution provides an increased level of transparency and better overviews. PO actually enables us to see projects and programs according to their state in our development model, which is a hybrid model based on the half-double methodology. That means that we are actually in the tool and on what we do every day, we speak the same language, which is insanely valuable. We're rolling out more functionality later this year that will cover entry of transactional data as well as resource planning. Our end goal is to really take management of our portfolio to a completely new level where we are able to proactively plan according to our budgets, our timeline, and our resources.
Very nice. Thank you for sharing that, Carl. So, what's ahead for you and GN Audio on your adoption of project operations?
We're really on a journey here, and we had our first launch the end of last year to a small group sitting in the R&D PMO, and we will soon launch to the next bigger group. Overall, we think it's going to be around 150 people using this tool in our organization. So that will be project managers, program managers, it will be resource managers or line managers, and the R&D management team next to the PMO users. But already from the first set of users, we got some great feedback. It has saved people time in just how they do their work. It has given them this better overview and has provided this single source of truth that I mentioned earlier. From a change management perspective, you can say that our organization has a pretty high desire into getting this new solution. So that's great. And we're really looking forward to getting there together with Microsoft and our implementation partner, FellowMind.
Thank you, Carl, for sharing your story. We look forward to learning more about the future of GN Audio and their adoption of Dynamics 365 project operations.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, Emily, what did you think?
That was wonderful. Thank you, Anders, Martin, and Carl, for sharing your stories. It's so encouraging to hear how our customers are expanding and scaling their project management solutions into other parts of their businesses. Their stories inspire us to continue to innovate and truly partner with them on their digital transformation journeys. Microsoft's Connected Project Experience solutions provide management of work for teams of all sizes and levels of complexity. This increased organization and visibility help leaders to align work both within and across teams to ensure that different teams and business units are working towards a common objective. The result is an elevated team performance, on-time and on-budget delivery, and better service and support to customers. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. Alicia, what's next for everyone?
Thanks, Emily. Next up, be sure to join us for one of the roadmap sessions on Planner, Project, and Project Operations. If you're new to Microsoft Project Management, join our session on choosing the right project management products for your organization. Or, if you're already familiar, dive deeper with our product sessions. Now remember, we have experts ready to answer your questions via live chat in any of these sessions for the next 90 minutes. So if you have questions, be sure to reach out. And beginning at 11 o'clock a.m. Pacific Time, you can join any of our partner-led roundtables to connect with your peers and learn about products and services related to our connected story. If you'd like to access the keynote and all breakout sessions again in the future, they will be available today on demand in the platform through the end of July. Lastly, I want to take a moment to thank all of you for making what we do possible. Your partnership and collaboration help drive us forward as we seek to build the best solutions for today's project-driven work environment. Enjoy the rest of the sessions.